see the equipment that are here. You can see things that are here. Nobody could remove anything. Is that how a country works? They just came suddenly, started demolition. You know, if my brother didn't have a brother like me, they would. He wanted to enter here. They say, no, you can't enter. We have court injunction. What about court injunction that allows somebody to enter into another person's property? They treat him for removing his things and everything, and demolishing everywhere. What about court injunction is that?
Oh, good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah?
Okay, sir. Thank you. Just go.
Just yesterday, just on Sunday, I came back from the US. And my younger brother told me that he urgently wants to see me. And I saw him yesterday on my way to Abuja. He said to me that the land, the company land, Nest Food Limited, the land they own for over 10 years, probably over 15 years, belonging to them, that some people just jumped into it and said they are the owner, that they have cut injunction, and that they are about to start demolishing it. I said, okay, we'll go to court. That they won't demolish it without having proper documentation and everything. But yesterday evening, he called me, said they've removed the roof. They brought 3 tractors, 2,000, demolishing everything as fast as they can. And I said, no. I'll leave Abuja this morning. Let me go there personally. He said all effort for them to enter there, they've refused even enter. And they've chased out the people who are living there. So there's nothing they can do. That's how I came from Abuja. We first flight this morning from Abuja, drove to this place, asked the people who authorized it to demolish. They said they have cut injunction that the owner gave them. I said, who is the owner? They said they don't know the owner. They just gave them. I said, who is the owner? They said they don't know the owner. Can I see the court injunction and see who the owner is, the person who is now claiming is sued? They gave me the court injunction. The court injunction explicitly said, unknown person. How can you sue an unknown person? I said the land belongs to you. A land with property. And within yesterday and today, you demolish the property. Look at it. They've removed the roof, they removed everything. Okay, give me your proper documentation, demolition orders, because even if you want to demolish the house, you go to the state, they give you order to demolish, give you appropriate documentation, bring safety people and them, so that we know you're doing what is now. It's only while I'm here now that some people came and said they have safety order. What kind of country is this? How did you descend to this level of rascality? How can you show a unknown person, enter somebody's land and everything? I've been here for 4 hours. I've not seen one person who comes and says, I'm the owner. 3 people or 2 or 3 people have appeared. Are you the owner? No, I'm not. But I'm acting on behalf. I said, so who is the owner? No name. They've not called the name. I said, but you know my name. I'm Peter Obi. I want to know the next person, so I can even approach him and say, please, this land belongs to a company that my brother is the majority shareholder. The country can't go on like this. We're looking for foreign investors, we're looking for investors, but look at how local investors are being treated. Is that how a country can thrive? This level of lawlessness, this level of rascality.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right, then, that's the footage of a video made by Mr. Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general election. It's regarding the demolition of a property, Next Foods Limited, owned by his brother. His brother has substantial interest in that company, and I understand, too, that Obi also has interest in that company. Well, good evening, and thanks for joining us on Political Lens this evening. I am Chukwuma Okoro. On the show today, Tinubu, APC move against Peter Obi, demolish his property in Lagos. Is it a case of political intimidation, victimization? Now, let's get into all of it. The All Progressives Congress, APC, may have shortly started the political fight against 2027 as speculations are rife among political watchers that the demolition of the business premises of Next Food Limited, a company where the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general election, Peter Obi, was demolished by yet-to-be-identified men who purportedly carried out the order from a court without appropriate papers. Well, subsequently, Peter Obi has condemned the action and described it as Nigeria's slide into lawlessness under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In a statement posted on his X handle, that is formerly Twitter, on Tuesday, Obi expressed outrage over the incident, which he said reflects a broader pattern of impunity and disregard for the rule of law in the country. He said that the whole situation screamed of coordinated lawlessness and impunity, warning that such actions threaten the nation's economic future and social stability. He lamented Nigeria's worsening human rights record, citing recent reports that highlight deteriorating civil liberties, personal safety, and institutional protections. According to the former governor of Anambra State, any society where lawlessness overrides the rule of law is not destined to be a heaven for investors. Obi stated that the government's failure to uphold civil rights and ensure basic legal protections is sending a dangerous message to both Nigerians and the international community. The statement read in part, I know what I have been going through as a person in abuse of my human rights just because I contested a presidential election, which I have legitimate rights to do. So I imagine what small business owners, regular citizens, and vulnerable communities face every day. If this level of lawlessness can happen to someone with a registered company and legitimate means, what hope does the ordinary Nigerian have? This morning, still quoting Peter Obi, my youngest brother called me frantically, informing me that a group of people had invaded his company property in Ikeja, part of Lagos, and were demolishing the building. He had just come in from Port Harcourt and was denied entry to the property by security men who told him the building was being pulled down. They even informed him that this demolition had started over the weekend. As a peace-loving Nigerian, he quickly started processing, to go to court immediately, not knowing what must have resulted in this, as they moved fast to destroy his home without any restraint. Well, I rushed to Lagos from Abuja after the call this morning and headed straight to the property. On arrival, I was met by security people who tried to bar me from entering the property. I humbly pleaded with them that the property belongs to my younger brother's company, and from the records, the company had owned the property for over a decade. They told me they had a court judgment, and I immediately requested it. You will not believe that the court judgment they claim was issued against an unknown person and squatters went further to ask about a demolition order or permit, and there was none, the former Anambra State governor noted. He stated, how can you sue an unknown person? How does a court issue a judgment in such a phrase of a case? No one was served. No name was written, yet they showed up with excavators and began destroying a structure that has stood for over 15 years. I immediately asked the excavators for the person who had sent them, and they said they didn't know anyone, but they were only informed to come and demolish the house. I immediately told them to tell whoever it is that I would like to speak with them, if they can call my number, which I shared with the excavators, so that I can speak with whomever gave them the order to demolish the property. I stood there from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. waiting to get a call, at least, and nobody called or came. The contractor even said he didn't know who sent him. 2 men later came and said they would like us to go to a police station. I asked if they had even had a demolition order, but they had nothing. Well, the whole situation screamed of coordinated lawlessness and impunity. Our country has become lawless. I just started reminiscing about how just over the weekend, I had a meeting. I have a meeting with someone who told me how he has investments in Ghana, Senegal, and the Benin Republic, but won't touch Nigeria despite his market being here. I asked him why. His answer was piercing. Nigeria is a lawless country. Until we have the laws that protect people, nobody will invest in Nigeria. Obi added, I'm just shocked. How did Nigeria get to this level of lawlessness? What kind of a country are we trying to build when the rights of citizens, their lives, their properties, and their voices are trampled upon daily? I remain committed to a better Nigeria where lawlessness will be a thing of the past. Protection of life and property, respect for human rights, and care for the less privileged, and basic education for all children. Well, that's all coming from Mr. Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general election. Now, let's bring in our guests as we are joined in the studio here in Lagos by Barrister Asem Adam. He's a practicing lawyer, political affairs analyst, and spokesperson to the 2023 Peter Obi Presidential Campaign Organization. I hope I'm correct, sir.
That's no BTC Tubo campaign, Labour Party campaign.
Okay, Labour Party campaign.
River State.
In River State.
Yes, in River State. Yes.
But you had affiliations with the Labour movement.
Of course, obedient, yes.
Okay, good evening, Barrister Asem, and thank you for coming to Political Lens. We always appreciate your presence.
Thank you very much.
Now, Barrister, you have followed the story since it broke. What do you know about the demolition of the property of Next Foods Limited, a company P2B has interest in? Let us into all that you know. Let us understand. What do you know, sir?
Well, thank you very much. What I got to know when this news broke yesterday, we had to make one or two inquiries, through the legal, field where we normally practice our law.
Okay.
And we were able to identify that property to be 57 Oduduwa Street, or Oduduwa Crescent. That is Ikeja.
Ikeja.
Good. And this demolition, took place, I think, around Monday or two yesterday. Now, we have also been able to identify one Deborah Olorun Ogbon as the claimant in court.
Okay, Deborah Olorun.
You can still verify all this information I'm giving to you.
Okay.
We also, through another platform, was able to reach out and found out that one Barrister Emeka Okpoko is the one acting for Next Foods Limited. That is P2B's company. Yes. Is there. He's a lawyer practicing in Nigeria here.
Okay.
Now, you now go there and find out what now happened. They said the matter was in court at the Ikeja High Court here, which is not far from Oduduwa Crescent there. So these are the things we were able to find out. Then it was later found out that it was the property of Peter Obi has some relationship with that particular property. Okay. So these are the scanty information we were able to get. And the other one is that we found out that that property was bought in 2011, and the ownership of that property, that changed hand was between Salisu Mohammed and Emmanuel Akimbayo Campbell, then Rock and Co. These are names of those who assigned and sold to Next Food Limited in 2011, and for the sum of 280 million naira. That was what we were able to find out.
Okay.
So these are the situations. That is how it is right now.
All right, Barrister, where did you find out all of this? Is it from the registry? Is it from the land registry?
No.
Okay.
I didn't go because nobody paid me to do that.
Okay.
Yes, but I entered into, lawyers, we have so many of our platforms on WhatsApp, and the social media, etc., where we quickly exchange information. And in that particular, one of the platforms I belong to, you have senior lawyers who are there.
Okay.
You also have people who work in the judiciary, etc., as the case may be. So when the news broke, it was
people volunteered information.
People volunteered information, and even gave us more than we can chew, pertaining to the identity of that particular property and what happened yesterday.
Okay.
It's an unfortunate one.
Did you at any point in time, are you aware if that property was at any point in time legal context? Did they have a case in court regarding to the ownership of that property? Are you aware of that?
Well, the problem here now is that is a job the lawyers to P2B has to do. Now, from what we got, there was a particular, because I had to record them down. They said they claimed, that is the claimants, those who filed. Yes, it claimed that on the 20th of June, that they met one security man they call Babagana Abubakari.
Okay. In the premises.
In the premises. It's like the premises is the only man that is there.
Okay.
So the premise is not an active one. Maybe it's a property owned by, you can use your property the way and manner you choose. You can decide to say you want to store goods there. You can decide to say you want to even, keep your family members in the property you have bought. You have the right to do that. So they met a gate man there, and they now served him a letter, from the office of, the area AIG, Zone 2, Onikon, that they sent a letter, that they were coming to, I don't know, maybe to take possession, as the case may be. Obviously, what has happened here is that somebody went to court, whether covertly or overtly, and obtained an order of court or a judgment, as the case may be. And when he got the particular order, he had to execute it, and execution in Nigeria here is done when money is involved. It can be done within 2 hours or 3 hours. You understand? It depends on how you facilitate and get your orders and things, as the case may be. So a lot of money must have changed hands in this situation. So that is why it was so. All right.
But Barrister Asim, as a practicing lawyer, walk us through the legal processes of a court ordering the demolition of a property that has been a subject of legal tussle. Now, this man says that is Next Food Limited, that he wasn't in court with anyone, hadn't been served any court process, no notices, much less an order for demolition. What would have gone down? You see, if the person got a judgment, will the judgment be, can the court order, for a property that is in contest to be demolished? Or would the court simply say, okay, now the assignee, the person that has been assigned the property, you don't have any legal right to this property. So this now the person that owns it is at liberty to destroy or to pull down the property. Walk us through the legal processes involved, and what do you think would have gone wrong in all of this?
What I feel would have gone wrong. First of all, let me clear this misconception. Yes, you can bring an action against unknown people or unknown persons when that property, when the particular suit is a property, it concerns property. Now, if you walk around Lagos, you find out that you have uncompleted buildings all over the place. You don't really know who owns the property, but you just see some chains. They occupy the place. They just stay there and begin to make their living out of it. In Port Harcourt, you see what they call butchers. You always have them in empty lands. People just see an empty land, and when they put in one or two things, nobody comes there to disturb in the first instance. Maybe when the owner of the land now wake up one morning and say, I want to reclaim my land, he goes there, he regards those people who are there as squatters. He does not know the names of the people there. He does not know, he only knows that there are people in the premises there. There might be 10, 20 people occupying that place. And he cannot go there and begin to throw them out using self-help. So what he will now do is to file an action, and the defendants will not be unknown persons, because the names are not known, because we don't have records of those who are occupying the place, as the case may be. That is for buildings uncompleted that I have seen. But in a building of this nature that is well built, secured with perimeter fence, also you have a security officer that is at the gate. I felt that that particular building should have an identity. Now,
there's equipment, there's machinery.
That's right. They should have an identity. What would have happened is that you walk in there as a security man, who is the person occupying this place? You understand the point? Even if you are the owner of the property, presumably so, you can walk into the premise and say, look, who is the person occupying my property? This is my property. How did you get in here? You understand the point now? The man will come out and say, no, guy, it's not your property. We bought this property in 2011. You understand the point now? And we've been building here. What do you want to do? No, so please, I'm going to court. You understand the point? And you now obtain information from them, and you can now go to court and properly sue them and come. But what happened here, what I suspect, lawyers call it what they call Jankara practice. And in Jankara practice is that they may have known that that property belongs to P2B. They may have known that that property is owned by a powerful Nigerian. So if you want to serve him all the processes of court, he's going to use his enormous powers and resources, influence and bring in 10 senior advocates, as the case may be. So they now surreptitiously apply and go to court. Now what happens is this: when you file your statement of claim, what we call writ, you file it, you now begin to say, go and serve the defendants. The court will not begin to go and find out whether the defendants are real or not. It's not their duty. Registrar will not go there. So you now go, when you file, you now take those documents and give to the belief of court, Sherry, to go and serve. This is what you have, filed in court. You mobilize them, commission them. Belief can go there and tell you that, yes, I met one man there, or I didn't meet anybody there. You understand the point now? So let you do what they call substituted service. Because nobody was in the premises there. Then you now, all these are abracadabra that do, technicalities that do happen in court.
Okay.
Now, the moment you are able to get the belief to now come to court to bring an affidavit of service, to now show the court and say, I've already served this particular process I was given. Okay. I served Mr. A or Mr. B as the case may be. So time, place as the case may be. He now puts in the court's file. You understand? Okay. The judge will only come. He will not begin to say, the moment he sees the stamp or seal of his registrar, on the paper or court paper, the honorable judge will assume that everything has been done legally. Okay. And then that's okay, take a date for mention, or take a date for hearing, or take a date for whatever. Now, if you now come to court, you see, the law says that once you have served your statement of claim, a defendant has to do what? File his statement of defense. Okay. Or counterclaim. Counterclaim. You understand? Altogether with that statement of defense to the claimant now in this case. Now, if the time given for the defendant to file his counterclaim and statement of defense has elapsed, and the court cannot begin to wait for you, you understand? And the claimant now comes with a document to say, we have served them, my lord, they have not responded. You understand? Okay. And they want to waste the time of court. Proper service has been effected, etc. The court might be ordered, okay, for the sake of justice, can you issue what they call hearing notices? The courts might issue hearing notices, and when they issue those hearing notices, the people do not even come again, as the case may be, to come and defend that particular, claim, as the case may be. What happens is that the court, there's what we call summary judgment. The court will look at documents we have served for 40 days, 50 days, they have not responded, even though we have served them, no statement of defense, no counterclaim, nothing from the defendant. Okay. The court will look at it and give that summary judgment based on the fact that they didn't file their whatever.
Counterclaim.
Yeah, yes. Okay.
Now,
default judgment.
Now, Barrister, in all of this, can the court give an order for a property to be recovered or to be demolished?
Yes.
Like in this instance, can the court give an order for that property to be demolished?
Of course, the court has the order for the property to be demolished. The court has the powers also for a property to be foreclosed to, that is, to go in there and lock up the place, pending when the matter is resolved, to restrain everybody from, nobody should enter this particular premises until, the matter is disposed of. You understand the point now? Now, if judgment now comes, it depends on your reliefs. Okay. Now, the relief might say, yes, you sought as a claimant that you want them to remove whatever is on the land there. Okay. Because it's not your property. It's not, you did not build it. You understand? You have the right, because there's a maxim, a legal maxim, quick platetor, solo sedi. Who owns the land owns whatever is on top of it. Okay. So when title is in situation of this nature, I can say, look, I don't know how they came in and built that particular structure there. It's not my structure. Okay, I'm asking them to pull that structure down and take their things and leave my land. Like
what happened somewhere in a GRA Junction, NDDC building. You recall that story?
Yes, Abacha and the rest. In Port Harcourt, you're talking now. Well, look at what happened there. What happened there was this: the man Abacha did not have title. Okay. Now look at what is going to happen in the P2B case. Exactly. Which I believe the lawyer knows what to do. Okay. He knows what to do. Now, what if I were the lawyer? I will run to that particular court immediately. Execution has been done, etc. as the case may be. I will still file some documents. I will not tell him on open television. He knows what to do. Okay. That is, that judgment was procured, fraudulently. That the judge gave, or whoever gave that order of demolition, whoever gave that judgment for demolition or gave that particular judgment order, fraudulently, that the judgment was fraudulently obtained. Okay. Then you now file and front load your documents. He knows I will not tell him the particular court he has to go. Then he knows what to do from there. You understand the point now? So what will now happen is that particular this is not arrested, and they cannot continue doing anything on that land until that matter is said. I'm sure they are doing all those things right now.
Because I wanted to ask you if there are legal avenues, open for P2B and the next food limit.
There are so many. There are so many, so sweet and many. If they pay, they know exactly what to. It's a very sweet matter for them. If you have title, you understand as the case may be. Right now, as the case may be, you have title with you. If you can have that title, the question will arise, is the land registered with lands, etc. in Lausa, as the case may be? That is number one. Number two is this. How come now the man is now coming to claim the ownership of the land for a property that was bought in 2011, that's about 14 or 15 years ago, has leases and acquiescence not caught up with the claimant? You understand? In the sense of what is leases and acquiescence is that 2011, the man started digging foundation. The man started raising because you didn't build that structure in 2 days. The structure on the land. Okay. You didn't build it in 2 days. You didn't build it in even 1 year. You understand the point now? A man now completed his building and now put up and started doing business there. Do you understand the point now?
I do.
Then suddenly from nowhere, you now go and get a judgment from somewhere and say that land, that land is my land. The court will now ask you the question, where have you been? Do you understand the point now? Except, because a lot of people, hide a lot of things under the carpet in Nigeria here. Except that particular property has been an issue. I've seen a lot of things you write. The man will tell you, I didn't receive any letter from the lawyer. But if you check your WhatsApp, the man has already clicked on it and he has seen everything. But he will deny that he has not seen anything. Okay. So maybe the claimant has been writing. Okay. It is possible. I'm not saying they did that.
We are speaking,
yes.
truthfully.
It's possible that, because we have not heard from the claimant now, okay. It is possible the person has written next foods. Maybe the lawyer has now said, please leave that man, let him go to anywhere. I've seen situations like that. You understand? So a lot of things are underneath that we need to unravel. Okay. And I believe in the course of the time to come, then we are going to unravel them. Okay, but the judiciary is the one that is to take half of this blame right now. Okay. It has to go further and let it be, because P2B is a prominent person that we listen to.
Exactly the point.
The other people who are the ordinary man like me, who had my land almost taken in Rivers. So who do I go to? Even if I go to the social media, nobody will listen to me. You understand? So a lot of things on this nature do happen. Okay. You will shout and shout, nobody will listen to you.
All right, Barrister, it's good to know. Yes. I'm happy that you brought us to this
yes.
angle. Now, P2B is a person of interest.
Absolutely, yes.
Politically exposed, as the case may be, because
absolutely.
He has also cried out, look, I have been under attack and all of that.
Yes.
Now, does it look like certain people, maybe the ruling party at the federal, in Lagos State, could directly or indirectly be involved? As a Nigerian who has witnessed things happen in this country, do you suspect any foul play? Let's talk about we've talked the legality of it, the legality of it. Now let's talk about the politics of it. Does it look like there's foul play?
Of course, it is politics. There should be foul play.
Okay.
I have told the politicians that politics is just like football. In football, you can quack. There's quacking. Okay. You are coming with a goal scoring opportunity. I'll go and bring you down.
What if you get a red card?
A red card, I'll move out, but you will not score the goal. I don't know if you understand. Okay. You are coming, you are doing a throw-in, I'm running after you to break your leg. Those are you don't score me. You understand? That's how politics is all about. So in a prescriptive and transactional political ecosystem like we have in Nigeria here, do you understand the point now? P2B should expect such. Even we individuals who play local policy beneath in the family itself, you will find out that you must be somebody in your family that wants to, make a lot of things happen to you to upset you, as the case may be. So there's this maxim they call volenti non fit injuria. It's a legal maxim. That is footballers. That is why you see when they break a footballer's leg, if I'm the one that broke his leg, nobody will take me and charge me for assault. You understand? Because it is what you signed. It is what you came with. The injuries are part of the game. So I might even go there and headbutt you, and there's blood will spill out. Inside that stadium, nobody will charge me to court. They only give me a red card and go out of the field. But I cannot do same thing outside the stadium. Because if I headbutt you outside, they will arrest me if I want to see blood. It's not so. Okay. So that is the same way politics is being played.
Okay, so you think that there are people behind all of this?
Do you think, I'm coming, you see, P2B is moving up and down, forming a coalition with Atiku Abubakar, Ameti Rotimi, El-Rufai. My brother, if you are Tinubu, will you sleep with your two eyes closed? Especially in the prescriptive nature of this
so the question will be, why single out P2B in all of this?
You might think it's the one they single out. Just recently, Atiku Abubakar heard that the governor, the stripped him of the Waziri Adamawa title. Do you understand it? There was a law that was passed in the House of Assembly of Adamawa State.
But that is
to strip him now.
Okay,
so
that is more symbolic. I mean, if you and I now address Atiku Abubakar as Waziri Adamawa now, is it actionable?
That is the different DC for them. He has to go to court. But what I'm telling you is this. I read the story of Messi. I always love football analysis, juxtaposing with the politics in Nigeria here. Messi said that, no, Suarez, his name is Suarez. One very good guy, played for Liverpool at that time. Now, at the end of the day, he said on a daily basis, before they come out, most of them come out to play, they take medications, pain relievers. Some of them said even when they leave whatever they are doing, they can't even wear normal shoes. Because of the way they have been quacked, because of the way they have been tried to harass and defenders will bring them down. It's the same thing in politics. And you see, let me tell you something. If you go and read Donald Trump's book, The Art of the Deal, he tells you that all is fair and just in politics. As far as capturing power is concerned, you know that you do not, he used the word cosmotonics. You know, it's a language that is crafted and invented. That means that in that political, field that you are, it's a concentric circle of intrigues boiling, as if you have a bottle of fizzy drink. You shake, you see the way it's bubbles everywhere. That is how it is, the ecosystem here.
In politics.
And in Nigerian politics, because it's transactional and prescriptive. That is why you see an article or P2B, for instance, now. I look at him, I say, look, don't even cry, because they have not started.
Okay, they've not started. Now, this is not the first time that P2B is crying out. The other time, I think he came back from Rwanda and said, even in Rwanda, Nigerians were avoiding him because nobody wants to be seen with him. Nobody wants to be associated with a P2B because the people in government will clearly come after you the way they have come after me, my family, and my business. In all of this, do you think that he's going to buckle? He's under intense pressure.
That is why he's talking.
Okay, so that's why he's talking.
He's talking. And Atiku Abubakar will not able to talk. He has seen that happen. And all Jews of Kalu will not say. A government in 1999 frustrated all Jews of Kalu's business in Nigeria here. He ran to Gambia. Nigerians forget all these things. Now, Obasanjo, let me use the word clearly. OBJ frustrated all Jews of Kalu. I don't want to mention the name of his airline. You understand? It was open. The man ran away.
No, I understand all of that. You are a member of the Labour Party.
Yes.
Probably.
I'm an obedient, not that I'm a member of the Labour Party.
You are an obedient, obedient member of the obedient movement. Now, with all this pressure, do you see Peter Obi backing out?
He cannot back out. Peter Obi has become, it's a movement. See, let me tell you something. Peter Obi has been, he is the only Nigerian politician that has destabilized the status quo in Nigeria electoral, incumbency equation
of Lagos. A lot of people will be uncomfortable with that word. Only politicians.
Yes.
So we have not seen anybody.
I have not seen any politician with this kind of tsunamic wave. Let me tell you something. Are you aware that the conservatives have ever ruled Lagos State? When I mean conservatives, those people who held the jugular. Right from 1999, for instance, let me not go too far. You understand? But a P2B came and defeated this incumbent president in Lagos State in the presidential election. Even Buhari struggled in Katsina with only 500 votes to beat a president P2B in the north, in the core Katsina. In Edo State, he cleared it. In the southeastern states, P2B had 99.9. Is it not so? In River State, P2B had the game. They had participated in that, political, whatever the case may be. So P2B is a behemoth. You understand? Political behemoth. It's gangantuan. You understand? It's He is like a salamander right now. So if he wants to back down, then he's making a big mistake. A lot of us will be disappointed in him. Because you're already in the kitchen, you must not complain about the heat.
All right. But Barrister Asim, if you understand this much, now let's also assume that the people that we are talking about, the ruling party, the ruling government, understand all of this. Do you still think that they will go ahead to do what people believe that they did against Peter Obi in the destruction of that property? Because they are merely trying to prop him up the more.
They want to, in law, even in our legal for lawyers listening to me, do you know that if I have a witness in the witness box, I can create some, waves around him, some voltage, of insinuations. And before you know, he begins to get angry.
Okay.
And once he gets angry, I will not hit him below the bed. That is what they are doing. So the moment they begin, see, opposition go to jail. Have you not seen that in Africa?
So you are saying that they want to bring him within striking target so that they can hit him.
They are trying him here, trying him there. So now bring him to that striking target. He's a target already. Okay. But how to hit him?
They can strike, yes, and not miss.
That is where they are looking at now. Okay. That is why they have tested. For instance, I'm not saying that is what is happening. No,
we are just.
That is why you see let's test the waters.
Okay.
And you see the way it's reacting now. So they now see how the people are reacting. They now see how the media is reacting. They now see the next move is going to take. Those are planned works that the man sitting there has orchestrated and choreographed, to make things happen. That is the situation of Nigerian politics that we find ourselves. So let him not back out. The only thing is that, let me see, we do respect. I am not extravagant with my words. I'm not Didi Musan or Tamagant to say that I am too proud, or maybe I'm on top of Mount Olympus by praising the P2B. No, I'm not doing that, but I'm saying the trajectory. You understand?
Yes,
a P2B coming to any coalition and standing firm, that coalition is going to get verve and zest. You understand? So it's a prime target politically. So seeing this kind of thing happen to him, I'm not surprised, I'm not shocked. The only thing I need to him is that he has to take these things with equanimity, resolve, and be strong.
Okay.
And know that many Nigerians are waiting for him to do what? Explode and, change the narrative.
Okay, now let's move, still in line with the politics, let's talk a bit about 2027.
Yes.
I like the fact that you said you're a member of the Obedient Movement. And you also said, openly that Obi is in talks with Atiku Abubakar, with Rotimi Amechi, Nasiru El-Rufai, and a whole lot of other people. As a matter of fact, how many people? 6 people were identified in the 6 geopolitical zones. If you go to the North Central, you see David Mark. In the Southeast, you see P2B. In the South-South, you see Rotimi Amechi. In the Northeast, you see Atiku Abubakar. And in the Northwest, you see Nasiru El-Rufai. How much weight, how much capacity do these people have to upset the APC in 2027? Granted that, look, none of them is in government now. All of them are, like a couple of Nigerians have described them as disgruntled and dissatisfied politicians. Talk about El-Rufai. If he was minister, if he made it to the cabinet, will he be in this position? So people are weighing all of that. How much capacity do you think these 6 people possess to take down APC in 2027?
The only man that has capacity there, in my own opinion, is P2B.
Okay.
And that is why they are trying to bring him. Most times, they go and do their optics and put him in the middle.
Capacity in terms of what?
Political survey, political sagacity.
More than Atiku Abubakar?
Heavyweight.
More than Atiku Abubakar?
Of course, we have people.
Who's been there for?
He's been there, but he has tried how many times?
From the PDM.
He has tried it. P2B came once and got 6-point-something million votes allocated to him.
Oh,
how many? Yes. How many? Yes, allocated. I said with equivocation. Look, I'm not scared about that. Allocated to him. That will tell you the level he brought into that particular 2023.
But he came third place. Atiku was number 2. So apparently they allocated more votes to Atiku.
Yeah, that's right. That is the allocation. So for a P2B just came in. He got 6 million plus. Atiku got just about 500,000 above P2B. You understand the point now? Okay. So the question I'm asking, a P2B is because of the fact that Labour Party, nobody knew Labour Party has been in existence since, but P2B brought it to limelight. People just go and say, I'm contesting another Labour Party. You didn't campaign. You are in the House of Reps. You are in the House of Assembly. You are even in the Senate at times. All because of P2B movement and the case may be. Now look at what has come on now. Now, coming back to your question, the question I've asked, let me start the profiling. El-Rufai, for me, is no longer to be called a heavyweight politician because he has been looking for credible candidates to bring for Nigeria to solve Nigeria's problem, but he has failed. He supported, a Buhari against a Jonathan, and he told the world that he is bringing a credible candidate called Jonathan Buhari that we take out, the way he's talking now, take out Jonathan, J.E.J. as at that time. He went in there, brought in a Buhari. When Buhari now started everything, at the end of the day, he became disillusioned with Buhari and said he's supporting Tinubu. Tinubu is the most credible candidate he's bringing out to solve Nigeria's problem. Okay. Now he went for Tinubu. Tinubu now went there. When he couldn't get what he wanted from Tinubu now, what did he do? He's now telling us that he's bringing another credible candidate to remove the evil, or whatever as he called Tinubu, that he brought upon us. So I can't trust that kind of a man. Okay. Two, ethno-religious irredentism and ethno-religious irredentists. We have to look at the situations as the case may be. We forget so easily in this country. Somebody said one time that during the election in a particular state in Nigeria, that people will go out of the country in body bags. We have forgotten those statements. I don't know if it has been captured, it has been erased, it has been lobotomized for that particular the case may be. Right. What way does he have? Even Sani in Kaduna State, everyone cannot defeat him.
You are profiling El-Rufai. Now, the people that essentially vote, go to polling units to vote, polling booths, the personality of El-Rufai, that is the kind of person that they want to follow.
In Kaduna State, I asked you a question, and let me answer the question. Do you know in Kaduna State, the present governor that El-Rufai supported only defeated the PDP candidate with 500 votes? With an El-Rufai there, and even Buhari around there, 2023.
Okay.
So
okay,
in an election
that is... Barrister, we are questioning home. We are questioning home. We've taken out Atiku Abubakar. We've taken out El-Rufai. Let's talk about David Mark and Amechi.
David Mark, for me, is a golf player. He should just go back and begin to play his golf. Okay. And I'm surprised that they brought him out in terms of relevance, in terms of political equation in Nigeria today. I've never heard his name for a very long time, apart from being a Senate president. Since that time, is he the only Unamani is a former Senate president.
About the calmest Senate in Nigeria.
Ayim Pius Ayim is a former Senate president. They are all members of APC. Okay. So because you are a Senate president, don't give you the gamut and does not give you that particular, good. Now Rotimi Amechi, I'll cut some slack for him. Okay. One is young, ebullient, but he couldn't do anything more than running around stadium in Rivers. I was in Port Harcourt then, challenging a Tinubu in the primaries, as case may be. Okay. At the end of the day, he was either at maneuvered or at rigged or depoliticized or dignited, or whatever as case may be. He left the easy also. Tinubu is an older candidate, became the candidate of APC and won that particular election. Now, what I'm going to ask the question is this. Is Rotimi or can Rotimi Amechi even deliver Rivers State where you have a Yeso Wike? I don't know if you understand. Yes. That is the question we should be asking ourselves now. Can a Rotimi Amechi deliver Rivers State, for instance, in an election in 2027 where you have a Yeso Wike on the other side?
Now let's come to the southwest and look at Rauf Aregbesola.
Rauf Aregbesola is like a disgruntled politician, a man working. He ought to be a giant. But right now, these are men who ought to be giants, but they are working on spindle legs and distended political tummies right now. It's so difficult for us to, they are more big. I cannot even describe them. These are men who I call the reed float on top of the Niger water. Once the tide is high, he takes it to the northeast. If it's high again, he takes it to the southwest, politically as we talk about. So these are people that, for me, do not have such, colossal weight and momentum weight to obtain it.
Essentially, Barrister,
it is only P2B. If P2B should work together with maybe a man like Rotimi Amechi, because of his youthful zest, CTC as case may be, and his money that is bringing to the polity as the case may be, maybe they can do something. But I don't think that all these people I have mentioned, that if a P2B were to be in a ballot, a lot of people will vote for P2B without even taking a dime from him. They will campaign for him. You understand the point? As it happened in 2023. And we are still ready to do that in 2027.
Okay, so Barrister, essentially what you are saying, or what you are suggesting is that like the coalition has even failed, dead on arrival.
They have not been able to register ADA, ADA. They able to get that says ADA.
They are still processing it.
ADA is dung, this is a B2 dung. That is what it's called in the River State, a language River State, B2 dung. ADA, many connotations. But look at what has happened now. The forms they brought before INEC, there were monumental mistakes which they described inadvertent. I was asking, how do you put a document of that nature, without perusing studiously and copiously, and just submit? Which means there's a foundational problem with them. As Christians and pastors will say, they have foundational problem. You understand? So they have not been able to register them.
All right, we'll see what happens in the coming days. And
we'll see what happens.
Let's talk about something that is trending in Nigeria, and it's about, the president yesterday, that was it yesterday or day before yesterday, introduced Alexander Zygmunt as his old schoolmate in the University of, in Chicago State University, CSU in United States of America. And Nigerians have been, I looked up a bit and I saw that, yes, Zygmunt was in Chicago at that time, but not in CSU, in University of Illinois. And all of that. Do we need to get all of that from the president at this moment? Shouldn't he just concentrate, and do the work that we have sent him? How does that strengthen his credibility, in search of authentic classmates? Must he do that?
And you see, like in those days when we were growing up, when we want to belong, we'll go and steal money and buy what they call pinafore gin and be grooving up and down so that they will say the guy is a guy man. You understand the point?
Yes.
So because we are just trying to create identity from mysteries. You understand? There's a mystery, not the mystery I'm talking about is MISERY, a political mystery following him and a political mystic that is following, the Tinubu, you understand, which has not been unraveled. One, he has the certificate saga, which I don't know whether it has decayed or is still, is just sitting down there like Mount Vesuvius in Italy. That's a dormant, mountain, without molten magma, as the case may be. So I don't know how they have gone with that. Now the other one is that when you begin to look for grants, look for credibility, because he's looking at a situation where 2027 is very close by the corner. So if you raise the issue again, who are your classmates? Like me, I went to school. If you ask me now, as I'm speaking, I have my yearbook. Even one of the place I live in Lagos now, I stay with a classmate who owns the property that I stay. So, and this is a classmate I know 40-something years ago. You understand the point? So we are there. So because of relationship, he brought me. So, and from him, I've met a lot of our classmates, both in primary school, both in secondary school, both in university, etc., as the case may be. So we don't really need to fault our identity. They know us. But when you have this happening, then you begin to poo-poo, begin to look for ferret, what we call ferreting of, things to make you show up.
A lot of people have said that, look, the president still wants to divert attention from what is going on, the decline in the economy, so that Nigerians could be talking about his classmates, his schoolmates, certificates, and all of that while he goes on doing the 2027 thing. Now, how much infraction on the Public Procurement Act has the president committed? If he publicly and gleefully introduces his friends and business associates as the ones doing million-dollar businesses with the government of Nigeria on his behalf. Isn't that some form of conflict of interest?
It's conflict of interest.
Not illegal?
It's conflict of interest. That's number one. Even look at section 16, sub 3 or thereabout of the 1999 Constitution talks about that the president should not even, make or amass a wealth in the hands of a few individuals or encourage the massive acquisition of wealth in a few individuals who are his cronies. Is antithetical, to practice. It is universally plural, and at the same time, constitutionally, is not, congruent. You understand? Now, it's conflict of interest. So you have come out openly to say, because president is a civil servant, you ought not to even have interest in who brings these tractors, as the case may be. All right? But you are saying that you are telling us directly now that it was through your influence and your nepotistic, relationship with the man that brought, for the man to not get the caterpillar. Was those particular things bidded for? Was there, there's this open, is it bid? They call it public procurement. Did they follow it? These are things we should be asking. Who should be asking those things? The press, Section 22 or 1999. We are asking now, so no, we have done our own part. Okay, you understand? We have done our Section 22 is what we are espousing here now. Okay. We are asking him now. Now the National Assembly should do theirs now. National Assembly to look at whether the president flouted, whatever his case may be, and write him to say explain or not to explain. If it does not explain, they look at whether it's gross misconduct. If it is so, they start impeachment processes. Okay, but they cannot do that because it's a lame duck.
We understand the kind of National Assembly.
Absolutely,
yes. But Adams, you might have to come back another day for us to expand this discussion. Unfortunately, this is a good place to anchor this conversation. We've been speaking with Barrister Asim Adam, who is a practicing lawyer and a public affairs analyst. He's a friend of the house, a friend of VOP. Voice of the People Television. We appreciate your presence.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right. Now, on behalf of the backroom staff, the technical director, Victor Igris, the bus manager, Ikechukwu Ezema, the sound engineer, Jerry, and the ingest manager, Alex Scott, I am Chukwuma Okoro. Up next is Issues with Jerry Apollo High. Stay with us and don't go away, and enjoy the rest of your evening. From me, bye for now.